Okay, welcome back, folks. Now I'm going to do a slideshow on this to make it a lot quicker, okay? These are just the shots that I did with the camera and my Z8 to show about the presentation. So this is Terrence. He was the Nikon spokesman. He stopped off at San Antonio, which was his first stop with the cameras. He had two of them. He also showed off the Z8, Z9, Z6, ZF, compared to the size of the Z6III. Anyway, he'll be going to North Texas, Utah, back to Houston and Austin, and then to Nebraska, and then whatever they're going to send him. These are the camera. I thought I got the immediate one, but I didn't, okay? I just got the one that was just plain Jane. The 24 to 120 is on there. I put the 85 1.2. I put the Plena. I think I put the Plena on the media one. But I had the 85 1.2. And then don't know if I used the 24 to 120. I can't remember. No, it was the 17 to 28 is what he had on there. Okay, so he's giving his presentation right now, and some of the guys put the 24 to 120 on there instead of the 17 to 28, which he had on there, which is a 2.8 lens. So I was just taking a picture of the monitor with the Z8. And there's Terrence discussing the different aspects of the camera, the backside illuminated sensor with the you can see all this stuff on the Nikon site, all this slideshow. It's without a commentator, but or an instructor, I should say. And I was using my lens, which is the 24 to, oh, I'm sorry, the 28 to the 400. So I caught a quick peek of her, and she heard my camera going off. She woke her up. she was getting tired. 3 hours, you get tired, folks. They're probably used to just maybe 1 hour. She's just smiling because she knows I'm taking her picture. She's just having a hard time. So these are JPEGs, okay? So this is from my camera of the photo shoot and what went on. Yeah, she's dozing off. She's trying. I should have gave her a piece of gum. But I saved it for myself instead. I'm sorry. Oh well. Anyway, back to this. 14, and they have some pretty good specs on there. This is raw. He also did it with, you can do both at the same time. I got a little out of focus right there, sorry. I thought he was finished and then he kept on going. So it stops with VR, focus point on the VR. So if you went to the side of the corner, I can do the VR on that. Great specs, folks. It's a great camera. Well worth it. I got a free t-shirt out of it. I hope it's the right size. I got a medium. Maybe I should have gotten a large, but I don't know. He says the camera is weatherproof. Okay? You get a lens that's weatherproof, you'll have no problem with this thing. He shot it in the rain. No problems at all. He was talking about the ProRes, the NEF-RAW, or NEF-Res. I think they had a Black Magic too. I can't remember. But he was just showing the different things you can do. 6K, 60p, NEN RAW, ProRes RAW, 422, 10-bit, whatever. He talked about the 14-bit, 16-bit. He talked about the high definition 240p. There's a slight crop on the 120 4K. And there's the media. Okay. So he had it rigged out. So I did get some pictures of it. I like the light diffuser, or the thing on the flash. I think that was what is it? One from Small Rig, whatever. But he had the cage on there with the lighting system from them. And you can see the M10 to the left. And you see a better picture right there. You see the shotgun mic. It does have an input for XLR, but you have to get the cable from XLR to that. So you just get the cable adapter or whatever, and it'll work. He just has a regular Rode mic on there. And using this on the Nikon website. Just go to their website. They have all the specs right there. Okay? Wonderful. Jeffrey is digesting it. David Stewart is digesting it. You know who from Colorado is digesting it. Stavo. You know, he's going to put his 2 cents in. And we might have some guests too, put their input on there. So it's 2,500 with tax. It's like 2,702 depending where you live. That's the end. Let me get out of the slideshow. But that's my take on it. I had a real good time. Let's go here. So you can see new sensor engine, algorithm, BR image stabilization, EVF. The EVF was fantastic, 4,000 nits. It was gorgeous. It's unreal. Okay, if you want to get a get the darn camera. Okay, you're just going to love it. Higher resolution on the LCD. It's a variable. Okay, I know some people are like, if you don't like it, just close it up and use the EVF. I don't want to hear any complaints about the LCD screen. Okay? It's still usable if you want to put the camera low, stuff like that. But if you're going to shoot from behind the camera, use the EVF. You can still use the LCD screen, but use the EVF. Okay? That's my recommendation. Faster continuous burst modes, and I tried it out. The buffer, just kept going. Let's see, I think it was doing, now when I was doing the stills on one camera, it was doing the RAW and JPEG at the same time. I saw no slowdown, folks. In fact, it was going so fast that you could see the banding on the light. All right, I didn't fix the shutter speed for that because I wasn't looking at that. I was just saying, hey, can I fill up the buffer? Nope. Wonderful camera. You can go to 1/16,000 of a shutter speed. The ISO is up at 64,000. I did mention to him that Gerald and Dunn said that it did have a dual ISO on there. It got kind of noisy at 5,000, but when you went to 6,400, it cleared up. Okay, so he put that in his database. He said, that's good to know, thank you. There is a pre-release. If you do a half thing for focusing, it's already capturing the pictures, folks, if you have that thing on. Okay. Direct image upload to cloud. They're still working on it. They got that HEIF format, so you can have different things if you want raw or HEIF or just JPEG. They have more portrait photography features added. That's kind of like your LUTs. You can download others from the internet and add it to the camera, just like the S9 from Panasonic. Okay, they're working on their app, trying to make it better. He was apologizing for it. Pixel shift shooting, yes. This is the improved audio preamp, 24-bit. Added line-in audio input. You get the XLR connection to the microphone input. You can connect an XLR to it. Just have the cage and the handle like he did, and I'll show that off. It's a full HDMI, folks. Not mini, not micro. It's a full HDMI input port. Hallelujah. Okay. And of course, it'll operate in lower temperatures. 14 degrees Fahrenheit. I think that was a minus 10 degrees centigrade. Okay. Don't quote me on that, but it's something like that. All right. So let's go back up. I'm just ranting and raving about this camera. Okay, so here it is. That's the media setup. Small rig cage with the handle, with their lighting system. And they have connections that you can connect your cable, your microphone input port so you don't knock it around. He had the 10 grip to the side, which I have. I need to get that connection to the cage. I have one for the Z6II and the Z5. I'm thinking of taking one off the Z6II and putting it on the Z7II, but then you know what? That's basically for video, so I'm going to leave it on the Z6II. All right? I'm going to get rid of the Z5. I'm going to get rid of the Z7II. I'm going to get rid of one of my ZFCs. I'm thinking of getting rid of the R8. I'll probably keep the R6 too. I'm keeping the Panasonics because they have a fan. I'm keeping the R5C. It has a fan. R6 II doesn't overheat. The Z6 II is a champ. I think it overheated twice, and that was car vlogging in the middle of the day where it was hot. The camera's right next to the windshield, so that acts like a magnifying glass, so I'm keeping that camera. I'm debating on some Sony equipment. I like the FX30 because it has a fan. I like the A7C because of portability. The ZV-1 does overheat, but great stabilization, great graphics. I got two ZV-1 Mark IIs in white. They're excellent. I might put the 5.2X where the Z5 Z5 is, and the R5C on the ZFC for the product review table because it has a 16 millimeter lens on there. I can either put the 28, 24, or the 16 millimeter. I'll decide which one. I want a wide field of view, and I can still zoom, using Ecamm Live Pro. Okay. So there you go. There's one picture. I only got the back side. I think I did get the front side. So there's all the cameras lined up, and look he had all the lenses. The majority of them. No, he had all of, he didn't have the 28 or the 40, I don't think. But he did have the 24 to 120. He didn't have the 28 to 400. I had that one. Let's see. No F mount. But, you know, he had the 600, he had the 400, he had the 100, the 400. He had the Plena, he had the 85 1.2, the 50 1.2, the 85 1.8, the 1 or 50 millimeter f 1.8. I think he had the 35 millimeter. He might have had the 35. I don't know. He did have the 24 and the 20. So he had most of the lenses, okay? I had the 26, 28, and 40 in my possession, but he didn't need it. They're grabbing the Plenas, you know, the 85, the 50. They're grabbing those. And then someone stuck the 24 to 120. So, I mean, some people get mad when I do the 28 to 400, but I love all-in-one lenses. They're great. I got the 24 to 20 on my Z9 all the time. And I got the 28 to 400 on my Z8. Love them. Okay? I got the smaller, you know what? I think the 24 120 is weighs less, so that's why I left them on Z9. And the 28 to 400, I got that on the Z8. But anyway, I digress. I'm sorry. So there's the Z9. I lined them all up. There is the Z8. There is the ZF. And there's the Z6. So I would say the ZF, if I'm looking at the Z6II. I'm sorry, folks, I walked away. Yeah. About same size. Okay. And if I look at the ZF. All right, so the ZF is a little bit wider. Not in depth, but wider. Okay. And just a hair taller because of the hot shoe. You know, they have that triangle shape. But anyway, it's bigger than the ZF, Z6II, Z7II, and just a bit smaller than the Z8. Okay? It has a deeper grip than the Z8. Let me think. Yeah, a lot better. I'm wondering on the Z8. Let me check real quick, folks. I'll be right back. I promise. Try to pause this. Okay, I'm going to go here. Okay? Now, I want to show you something. And I'll move the microphone right over here so I can talk to it. The R5C. And I'm doing a video on that, comparing on vlogging. But look at the thickness, okay? In fact, yeah, handle's right there. Okay. So it's thicker here than the R6 Mark II, which is thicker than the R8. Okay? This is the smallest, lightest stuff, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about the grips, okay? What I like about Canon is they have a lot more space than Sony. All right. Not touching. But the R5C, all right, look how deep that is. And the knuckles aren't touching the lens, okay? So that's the R5C. This is the Z8. Now, on the Z6II, on the 24-120, my knuckle was hitting it just like I am there. So they have it going out. So on the 24-120 on the Z6III, my knuckle was right there. But it's deeper, okay? It's deeper this way and a little bit longer this way. Okay? So, and plus the fact this grip is, you know, the camera's bigger, all right? So with my hand, that's how it looked. Okay, but my finger was up here. Okay, so I didn't have a pinky thing anymore. So I just want to stress that my knuckles was Kind of reminded me of Sony, you know, when you're touching the lens, but it's not as bad as Sony. But just want to point that out. It is a deeper grip. You do get a little bit more space for your hand. They do have a new battery grip for the thing, where you take the battery out, the thing goes in. You have to take the camera door off, which is easy to do. You tighten it in. You put in 2 batteries. But the new thing about this battery grip, folks, besides, you know, the function buttons and the, you know, buttons and stuff like you see on the Z9 or whatever, you can have both batteries in, and you can charge it with USB-C. It'll charge both batteries at the same time. Okay? So you'll never have to take the battery out. You can bring a power bank with you. Me, I rather use a dummy battery, okay? Because that way it doesn't deplete the batteries. I don't like charging and discharging. But that's my thought on it, okay? So let's get back to the slideshow. I just want to say that, we'll go here. So there's the front view. The 10 is on the left, and I got this at here. But you see, they got a contraption that connects to the cage, and that's what I'm missing. I've been holding it to the side, and then when I take shots, and see, there's the cable, USB-C cable, all right? So you don't shake the camera. And you can have like your delay set, so that you hit that, you can still have a 2-second or whatever delay you want, so that everything is quiet. It was kind of like the old camera days where the shutter can go up, and then the mirror goes up, and then there's no shaking, and then there's a delay in taking the picture. It's kind of like the same effect, okay? So there's the media setup. Let me go. Yeah, this is where it got blurry. Okay. Yeah. So that's all I want to say. I just want to say that I really enjoyed using the camera. I'm going to go here. You know what? I'm going to leave that shot right there, because the camera's facing. I don't think. No. No. That's at 100%. So I'll leave it like that. Okay. So let's go here. I just want to say that this is Z6II. Still a great camera. Okay. For video work, still great in low light. It's great for the studio. It's backside illuminated. It has CF Express Type B card. It has an SD card. You can do UH2S, V90. All right. Still a great camera. All right. But the Z8, Z9 have taken over the 45 megapixels, so I don't need the Z7 II. Okay. And it overheats. I could even have it on a stream and it shuts down, you know, after a while. Okay. So that's one reason. I have another ZFC, which I have with the Z30. I'm thinking of leaving the crop sensor cameras behind and going all full frame. It's up in the air, but I got some great lenses for my backpack. So I have the Z30 and the ZFC completely in there, with the battery chargers, the batteries, lens caps, all the lenses that fit in there. It's a great carry bag, okay? I'm going to replace the overhead ZFC, which I was showing the camera with the Canon R5C. So it's either that or I'll put it over there with the Sony, but I want to keep that as Sony all the way through. see what they come out with. But yeah, that's the only thing I'm missing is the A7R5. But why get it? I mean, the same thing with the R5C. Why get it? Well, I want cameras for the studio, full frame, that have fans connected to it that can give good picture quality. Okay? It does a better job than crop sensor cameras. I still like my Z50, and I still like the A60-100. All right? Great cameras for the puppy cat cam, whatever. They don't overheat. They just keep going. Okay? My ZFC, the Z30, the Z7II, the R8, they overheat. I can't use them. Yes, they're wonderful cameras. Yes, they, for photography, they're excellent. 8K, on the Z7II, come on. You can't beat that. Type B CF Express card, and then a UH2 V90. All right. UH2S V90. Okay? Still a great cam. Still a 45 megapixel. It only does 4K 60. I don't know if it does 4K 120. But anyhow, there you have it. There is a crop on the 4K 120. There is some crops when you use the ProRes thing. I don't know which one. He talked about that. He talked about the 10-bit, the 12-bit, and 14-bit. He talked about some limitations where when the buffer starts overflowing, that JPEG takes over. I wasn't listening. I was taking pictures. Okay. So anyway, long-winded. I'm sorry. I'm excited about this product. I think it's well worth it. Okay. Thank you for watching. Remember, stay safe. Keep smiling. And I'll see you next time. Goodbye, folks. Have a wonderful day.